Blowing snow, icy roads, dropping temps. North Texas already feeling the bite of this cold winter weather. And that weather is, of course, moving south. Freezing rain already in Huntsville. That's coating everything there in ice. And as you wake up at home, we're starting to see ice on cars and trucks in some places. Look at that. We're getting a lot of your picks in this morning. Thank you for that. Our live storm team coverage starts right now.
KHOU 11 News This Morning starts now.
Now at 6:30, the story of the day is weather. Our radar here fired up, showing the freezing line sliding south, heading closer to Houston. Good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa Hernandez.
And I'm Russ Lewis. We're staying on top of this icy weather. Dozens of school districts have already canceled classes today.
City and county governments telling you to stay off the roads if you don't need to be out. We are on Facebook Live right now taking your questions about conditions in your neighborhood.
Yeah, hop online, join the conversation with us. And while you do that, let's send it over to Cheetah for the very latest on exactly where this storm is right now.
Yeah, guys, I mean, there's so much to tell you here. That cold front is now offshore, and so we're really starting to see these temperatures drop rapidly. And the faster they drop, the quicker that this rain is going to transition to sleet, the potential for ice pellets, and even some snow flurries, again, by our lunchtime and afternoon hours. Some of the white indicated north, but look at the pink extending all the way from Wharton, Fort Bend, in through Harris County and north of. Let me show you in a little more detail. Right along 45, the Woodlands, Spring, Willowbrook Mall into Tomball this morning. And at the big airport, if you're flying out, most flights have been canceled. Make sure you check in with your airlines. From Wharton County into Fort Bend County, look at all of this. Are you waking up in Katy with this, and Sealy, and East Bernard, Needville? This is approaching Richmond, Rosenberg area. Only a matter of time until Sugar Land starts to see maybe a little bit of sleet. This morning, still right along the immediate coastal areas. If you're waking up in Friendswood, Pearland, right along 45 southbound, you're still waking up to a few light showers. And inside the loop this morning, temperatures will continue to drop. Look at the line for some of that sleet this morning, that wintry precipitation trying to transfer here, getting a little bit closer even now to Memorial, the Galleria. We're talking big areas that could be talking complete ice by lunchtime into our afternoon. Temperatures feeling this morning in the teens. Darby, I didn't even get a chance to talk about our wind gusts up to about 35 miles per hour this morning. So a lot going on. A great day to sit tight. We're encouraging everyone to stay off the roads if possible.
Just hang out, watch television, or Netflix, chill, whatever you want to do. This is a good day to do. You don't want to be outside. All right. We look to, as you can see, this freezing rain moving its way through town now. Basically, once you get up to Huntsville and points north, see the yellow, then red. You have icy conditions from Huntsville pretty much all the way up into the Dallas area. All of East Texas has icy conditions all the way to the Louisiana border, probably into Louisiana. And that stuff is slowly moving its way down this way. Also, we're getting reports of icy conditions now on Highway 290, basically from Waller all the way out to the Brazos River. Not that it's closed, but we're starting to see ice forming in places, so you just want to use caution. Now we take a look at our Houston TransStar shot. I-10 the Katy Freeway here at the Grand Parkway here, the big ramps coming off the Grand Parkway to get onto I-10, and you can see it's wet, and that's the problem. It's wet. And eventually the temperatures are going to drop below freezing. This stuff is going to freeze up. It's been treated. Will it hold up? Well, just anybody's guess. I can tell you this: if you're traveling today, I don't recommend it. But if you got to go to the airport, 95% of your flights are being canceled. So call ahead. Make sure you're able to get out.
Good advice there, Darby. Thank you.
It is 6:33. It's been interesting this morning watching that freezing line push to the south. Right, we saw ice in Huntsville earlier this morning.
Yeah, let's go live right now to Brandy Smith. She spent the 4 and 5 a.m. hour in Huntsville. You're now in Conroe, Brandy. We know that freezing line is moving south. How's it feeling right now? My goodness.
Oh, guys, I gotta tell you, it is cold. I'm running out of ways to say. It is just cold. About 29 degrees in Conroe right now, and we're seeing some light precipitation, some of that light ice snow mix, but not the heavy downpours we were seeing in Huntsville earlier. I want to show though what it left behind. You can see the accumulation on the ground here. That's not snow. Those are all those ice pellets. And check out some cars that have driven in loaded with this stuff. I can't even scratch through it. It is hard on there. But check out the wet pavement. That's the thing. The ground is still so warm that is still wet. As the temperature drops, and we're talking about very cold conditions for several hours, that has the potential to ice over. We want to check in now with Michelle Choi, who's live in our weather tracker along 290. How's it looking out there, Michelle?
Yeah, hey Brandy, we are on 290 East headed towards downtown. Now earlier we were out in Waller County where I think Cheetah and Darby talked about some freezing conditions over there. We definitely noticed a lot of cars blanketed with ice, and now the roads are freezing over. But back here in Houston, headed towards downtown, we're seeing clear road conditions. It's definitely still misting, a lot of precipitation on the ground, but nothing that's freezing or sleeting over just yet. But of course, that can all change in a matter of a few hours. It is about 32 degrees right now, which means once the temperatures start dropping, again, we could see ice and sleet later on, but right now things are looking clear. Guys, back to you.
All right, Michelle Choi, thank you so much. A reminder, dozens of school districts are closed today because of this weather. That includes Houston, Katy, Cy-Fair, and Conroe, just to name a few. You can also see a list scrolling there at the bottom of your screen, or check out khou.com. You'll find a list of the closures on our website. We have a link to that on our homepage right now.
And it's not just schools either. All Montgomery County offices and Houston municipal courts are closed today. Probably a lot of businesses too. This morning in our live poll, we're asking, are you planning to leave the house today? Very simple. Yes or no. And look at that. About 2/3 of you are saying, I'm just going to stay cozy at home on this Tuesday.
Good for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great if you can do it. And you can vote right now. By the way, that poll is still open. You can do that at khou.com/vote now or on our news app.
All right, so many of you are up early this morning tweeting and posting on Facebook about this winter storm.
Doug Deloney's here with what you're saying online. Doug, good morning.
That's right. Good morning, guys. We have so many photos coming into the Facebook page. It's hard for me to pick out which ones to show, but I do want to say good morning to Claudia Catching. She says these are some snow flurries off of Rayford Sawdust. You can see in the background it looks like sleet or freezing rain coming down, but in the foreground you can see little flurries kind of going around left to right. Pretty cool. Now elsewhere we do look like we have a lot of sleet collecting on porches. This is from Darlene. She says they can hear the sleet and ice hitting the windows of their home. That's up in Cleveland, northeast of Houston. Jamie says this is in Montgomery County. You can see plenty of sleet and ice collecting in the flower bed there. Lakin says this is I-45 and League Line in the Conroe-Willis area. You can see cars, windshields, kind of what Brandy was showing is just a few minutes ago. Again, this one isn't actually in Willis. Look how much ice is on this porch and on the furniture of this home. This is from Michelle and Shane Toohey in Willis. So good morning to you guys. Thanks for sending that in. Again, Crystal in Magnolia has ice collecting in her car. Laura showing this in Schwab City, which I never heard of. That's near Livingston apparently. And this is the back patio area. Again, a little bit of sleet collecting on there. So not as much snow yet as we have sleet and some of that freezing rain, but we do want to continue to see your photos. You can post them on our Facebook page. You can send them to photos@khou.com, but don't go out looking for trouble. But if you have something on your back porch, go ahead and send it to us. That's how we want you to stay safe and keep us informed this morning.
And just know that when you do it, you're keeping Doug really busy, which is a good thing.
We're putting it together. So even if we don't get to show it on air, we're putting it together in the newsroom as a slideshow on khou.com. So we'll feature that on our Facebook page as well.
Keeps Doug out of trouble.
Yeah, something to do with the kids today since they'll all be home.
Right.
Cheetah.
Exactly.
Everyone's home today, apparently.
Yeah, I like Doug's response there. Don't go out looking for trouble.
Yeah, don't do that.
I think that's a good motto.
Don't sue me.
But definitely today, we are expecting additional ice to continue throughout the day. So even this morning, if you're waking up in areas like Pearland, Friendswood, League City, Clear Lake, areas south of Galveston, you're still waking up to some just light rain. Temperatures should be in the upper 30s to even low 40s. So just know as that freezing line continues to work through town, it'll continue through even Worden, Fort Bend, Harris County. It'll continue to push southward, and that light rain will transition into some sleet, maybe some freezing rain, and then maybe some snow flurries even this afternoon. We could be talking about that widespread. So let me walk you through. I've actually had to drop these temperatures for the forecast because our temps are just dropping so quickly. I think we'll already be in the 20s by your lunchtime hour and continuing to see mid to low 20s by this afternoon. So anything that has fallen will and is expected to ice over for your lunchtime and afternoon hours. So the question is not if you can kind of get where you need to go this morning, but what you're going to do once you're there by noon and this afternoon. So we're encouraging you to stay home if you can, limit any spinouts that could potentially happen on the roadways. This is 8, 9 o'clock. Take a look. These temperatures just continue to drop. This is just before your lunchtime hour. We are talking 20s, low 30s south of town. Notice moisture not out of here until after about 6, 7 o'clock this evening, and then it's offshore. Then overnight tonight, we could still be talking about ice impacting your morning commute tomorrow morning. I won't be surprised if we start to hear of additional delays and maybe even closures for your Wednesday derby. This is not probably just this morning. Now, by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be talking sunshine and temps back into the 40s.
That'll be nice. I'll be glad when it gets here. But right now, you can see on my traffic map here, we put the radar overlanded here, and you can see that freezing rain moving its way through the Houston area. So just be ready for it. Up in Huntsville, noticing once you get to Huntsville, traffic gets really slow going north and south up until Dallas. All of East Texas has icy conditions. It's a big mess out there. Highway 290 from Waller out to the Brazos River, getting reports of icy conditions. Now I'm seeing on Highway 6, once you get to about Navasota, trying to get into Bryan College Station, traffic is coming to a standstill. So probably seeing some icy conditions there. Also, actually getting reports of ice on the exit ramp 290 outbound exit ramp to FM 1960. So I don't know if that's real or not, but that shows you how cold it's getting out here. 290 at 1960. Camera we've got even close is 290 here at Center, looking in towards the tollway. Anything falling out of the sky here is probably going to be frozen rain and rain, so it's probably going to be going tick, tick, tick when it hits your windshield if you have to get out. Fortunately, not a lot of people are out on the roadways here, but 290 as you come to the tollway, this is all elevated, still wet at this point in time, not frozen.
Quick check of other news now this morning. A man behind bars this morning after a chase through northeast Houston. Started when an HPD officer tried to pull over this guy for driving erratically. The chase lasted about 30 minutes until Precinct 3 deputies laid out a spike strip, and then an HPD officer performed a pit maneuver. The driver under arrest now facing charges of felony evading and possibly DWI.
2 Southern California parents are in jail this morning accused of torturing their 13 children. Investigators say one of their daughters, who is 17, escaped Sunday morning. She managed to call 911. When deputies arrived at the home, they say they found the other siblings ranging in age from 2 to 29, all held against their will. They were malnourished, some even chained to their beds. Each parent is being held on a $9 million bond.
The Texas sports reporter who disappeared earlier this month tweeted yesterday that she had an adverse reaction to prescription medication. 29-year-old Courtney Rowland turned up near the Galleria unhurt but confused. She did not say which medication she was taking.
Time right